You know that feeling when someone tells you something crystal clear, but you hear something completely different? Now multiply that by an entire culture that's been trained to read between lines that don't exist. Americans abroad have perfected the art of transforming straightforward feedback into elaborate conspiracies, personal attacks, or secret compliments. It's not malicious, it's just that we've been raised in a culture where "we should grab coffee sometime" means "I never want to see you again." So when a German says, "This is wrong," we assume they mean, "But I secretly admire your creative approach." Take my friend Lisa in Stockholm. She joined a Swedish book club and presented her analysis of the novel. Her Swedish colleague Ingrid said, "Your interpretation missed the main theme entirely." Lisa heard, "You have a unique perspective that challenges conventional thinking." She spent 15 minutes defending her bold, contrarian reading, while Ingrid repeatedly said, "No, you just misunderstood the book." Lisa eventually told everyone she was introducing American deconstructionist theory to Scandinavia. Ingrid finally said, "You read the wrong book. This is about a detective. You're discussing a romance novel." Lisa had grabbed the wrong book from the library and analyzed it for 3 weeks. The Swedish book club now uses this as their example of when to speak even more directly. Then there's Marcus in Estonia, convinced his landlord's inspection notes were European passive aggression. The note said, "Toilet is broken. You must fix." Marcus interpreted this as suggesting I consider looking into the possibility of eventually addressing what might be a minor toilet situation. He posted on expat forums about Estonian indirect communication styles and reading between the lines of Baltic feedback. 3 weeks later, his apartment flooded. The landlord's next note said, "You did not fix toilet. Now floor is destroyed. You pay." Marcus called it escalating hostility and threatened to sue for aggressive communication. His lawyer, also Estonian, said, "He told you to fix the toilet. You did not. This is direct cause and effect." Marcus insisted there was subtext he was missing. The subtext was water damage and a €5,000 repair bill. But nothing beats Sarah in the Netherlands during her corporate job performance review. Her Dutch manager Peter told her, "Your reports are incomplete. You miss deadlines. Your data analysis contains errors. This must improve immediately or we cannot continue your employment." Sarah smiled and said, "I appreciate the feedback sandwich. So you're saying I have room for growth?" Peter looked confused. "What sandwich? I gave you 3 problems. No bread." Sarah explained American corporate culture, compliment, criticism, compliment. Peter said, "That is lying. I am being honest. You are failing." Sarah heard, "He's pushing me to reach my potential through tough love." She thanked him for believing in her. Peter scheduled a meeting with HR titled, "American Employee Cannot Process Direct Feedback, Cultural Barrier or Comprehension Issue?" They eventually fired her. She left a Glassdoor review praising their intensive development culture. Let me walk you through the absolutely baffling ways Americans transform clear, direct feedback into whatever they want to hear instead. The Polish gym situation belongs in a psychological study. Kevin joined a Warsaw fitness center and worked with trainer Tomasz. After watching Kevin's squat form, Tomasz said, "This is dangerous. Your knees collapse inward. Your back rounds. You will injure yourself. Stop immediately and learn correct form." Kevin beamed. "Wow, thanks for paying such close attention to my technique. You must think I have real potential." Tomasz stared. "I think you will herniate a disc." Kevin posted on Instagram about his hardcore Polish trainer who challenges me with tough love because he sees champion potential. Tomasz told the gym owner, "The American thinks I am complimenting him when I say he will paralyze himself." They assigned Kevin to a different trainer who spoke even more directly. She said, "You cannot squat. Do not try. Use machines only. Kevin interpreted this as she's intimidated by my raw talent and wants me to build a foundation first. He sent her a thank you card for believing in my fitness journey. She hung it in the staff room under the heading, Museum of Confusion. Then there's Rachel's pottery class disaster in Prague. Her Czech instructor Hannah examined Rachel's bowl and said, "The walls are uneven. The base is too thick. This will crack in the kiln. Start over." Rachel nodded enthusiastically. "I love that you're encouraging me to develop my own style. Very European art philosophy." Hannah held up the bowl. "This is not style. This is technical failure. It will explode." Rachel exclaimed, "Exactly. Breaking boundaries." She posted photos captioned, "My avant-garde instructor pushes me to challenge traditional forms." The bowl did explode in the kiln, damaging 3 other students' work. Hannah told Rachel, "You owe them money. Your bowl was structurally unsound, as I said." Rachel replied, "This is such a great teaching moment about embracing failure." Hannah said, "You are not embracing. You are not learning. You are not listening." Rachel gave the class a 5-star review praising Hannah's Socratic method of teaching through cryptic criticism. Hannah now starts every class with, "I will say what I mean. I will mean what I say." Americans, write this down. The Hungarian orchestra situation remains legendary. Michael auditioned for a Budapest community orchestra. The conductor listened to his violin piece and said, "You played in the wrong key. Your tempo was inconsistent. Your vibrato is uncontrolled. You are not ready for this orchestra." Michael shook the conductor's hand. "Thank you for the detailed feedback. When do I start?" The conductor repeated, "You do not start. You failed the audition." Michael laughed. "I get it, you're using reverse psychology to motivate me. Classic Eastern European tough love." He showed up to the first rehearsal with his violin. The conductor said, "Why are you here?" Michael, "Because you challenged me to prove myself." The conductor turned to the orchestra. "Did I challenge him?" Everyone shook their heads. The concertmaster said, "Mihai, you told him he failed. In Hungarian and in English." Michael insisted, "But the way he said it implied he wanted me to fight for it." They eventually called security. Michael posted on Reddit about Hungarian musical hazing rituals and how persistence breaks through European coldness. The conductor now includes on audition forms, "Rejection means rejection. This is not negotiable or interpretable." Nina's Slovenian language school experience deserves documentation. Her teacher Maya returned Nina's Slovenian essay covered in red corrections with a note. "You used past tense incorrectly 17 times. Your case endings are wrong. You confused masculine and feminine forms throughout. This is A2 level work, but you are in AB1 class. Review basics." Nina brought the essay to the school director. "I think Maya is struggling with something personal. She's projecting negativity onto my work." The director read the corrections. "These are grammatical errors." She marked them specifically. Nina explained, "Right, but her energy was very harsh. I think she's going through something." The director called Maya into the office. Maya said, "I corrected her mistakes. She made many mistakes." Nina suggested, "Maybe we could explore why you felt compelled to focus so intensely on small errors rather than celebrating my progress?" Maya turned to the director. "Is she analyzing me or should I analyze her essay?" The director said, "Nina, you made grammatical errors." Maya corrected them. "This is the job." Nina switched to a different school, leaving a review warning about teachers who use grammar correction as emotional outlet. Maya framed the review and titled it, "The Day I Became a Therapist." Jordan's Croatian sailing lesson belongs in communication textbook. His instructor Ante watched Jordan tie a bowline knot and said, "Wrong. This will not hold. The boat will drift." You could die. Learn the correct method. Jordan replied, I appreciate you letting me experiment with my own approach. Auntie picked up the rope. There is no your approach. There is the correct approach and the death approach. You did death. Jordan insisted, but isn't sailing about finding what works for your personal style? Auntie pointed at the harbor. You see boats? All use same knots because physics, not because style. Jordan spent the next hour explaining his philosophy that every person has their own truth, and knots are social constructs. Andy finally said, Okay, you tie your truth knot. I put you in boat. You drift into rocks. Then you learn physics is not social construct. Jordan accused him of toxic masculinity in maritime education. Auntie ended the lesson early and refunded Jordan's money with a note. You cannot learn sailing because you cannot learn you are wrong. The sea will teach you. I will not watch. Jordan posted a video essay about decolonizing sailing education and challenging Eurocentric nautical knowledge. Croatian sailing schools now screen students for physics acceptance. The Bulgarian medical situation went too far. Danielle visited a Sofia doctor for persistent headache. Dr. Petrov examined her and said, You have hypertension. Your blood pressure is dangerously high. You must take medication daily, reduce salt, exercise, and stop smoking. Danielle smiled. I love that you're taking a holistic view, Dr. Petrov said, This is not holistic. This is medical necessity. You could have a stroke. Danielle replied, Right, so you're saying I should think about lifestyle changes when I'm ready? Dr. Petrov spoke slowly. I am saying you will die if you do not change now. Not when ready. Now. Danielle interpreted this as wellness journey language and posted about her Bulgarian doctor who uses fear-based motivation but really wants me to embrace self-care at my own pace. She did not fill the prescription. 3 months later, she had a hypertensive crisis and was hospitalized. Dr. Petrov visited her. I told you this would happen. Danielle, recovering, said, You know, I think the universe was telling me I wasn't listening to my body's signals. Dr. Petrov told the nurse in Bulgarian. The universe told her. I told her with words and blood pressure readings, but the universe gets credit. Danielle later thanked him for creating space for her awakening. He retired the following year. But the absolute pinnacle of feedback misinterpretation happened to my colleague Derek in Latvia. He worked remotely for a Riga-based tech company. His manager Andris sent him an email after reviewing Derek's code. This code does not work. It crashes the application. It ignores best practices. It creates security vulnerabilities. It must be completely rewritten. I need the correct version by Friday. Derek read this and replied, Thanks for the passionate engagement with my work. I can tell you really care about the project. Let's schedule a brainstorming session where we can align our visions. Andris responded, There is no vision to align. Your code is objectively broken. Fix it or you are fired. Derek forwarded this to HR. I think Andris might be experiencing burnout. His communication seems stressed. HR showed the email chain to their CEO, also Latvian. The CEO called Derek. Andris is correct. Your code does not function. This is not stress. This is fact. Derek explained. I hear you, but I think there's an underlying communication issue where direct feedback is being weaponized instead of being constructive. The CEO said, The construction would be you writing code that works. The weapon would be us keeping you while the application crashes. Derek insisted he needed clearer expectations. The CEO sent him a video of the application crashing, a list of 12 specific errors, documentation of correct methods, and a countdown timer to Friday. Derek watched the video and replied, This is actually helpful. See how much better collaborative feedback feels. They fired him on Thursday. His exit interview note said, unable to receive direct feedback, possibly requires feedback in interpretive dance format. Here's what we need to understand. When someone from a direct communication culture tells you something is wrong, they are not building character, testing your resolve, hiding a compliment, or speaking in code. They are using their words to convey their meaning, which is a revolutionary concept apparently incomprehensible to Americans who have been trained that all communication is a puzzle requiring decryption. We've spent so long navigating subtext, reading rooms, and interpreting tone that we have lost the ability to process information that arrives without layers. When a Dutch person says your work is inadequate, they are not negging you into greatness. When a German says you are late, they are not admiring your free spirit. When an Estonian says your idea will not work, they are not challenging you to prove them wrong. They are simply informing you of reality so you can adjust accordingly. The tragic irony is that Americans constantly complain that other cultures are too indirect, while simultaneously refusing to accept direct feedback as actually direct. We are like people who asked for the truth, received it gift-wrapped with a bow, and then spent hours analyzing the wrapping paper for hidden meanings while ignoring the contents entirely. But tomorrow, somewhere in Europe, an American will receive crystal-clear feedback, transform it into a compliment through sheer force of positive thinking, and confidently continue doing exactly what they were told to stop. And a very tired European will add another tally mark to their Americans who cannot process direct sentences, chart and wonder if perhaps they should try communicating through interpretive dance after all. At least then the confusion would be intentional.